Good?
Good.
Okay. All right, so close guard, armbar from close guard. I'm gonna go through everything really quick. If you miss something, you just rewind. So you don't have to do a down here. So I'm here, I start with the close guard. I want my spine to be flat and I want my hips on top of his hips, right? First thing first, I have to eliminate his frame to win the grip fight. There's several ways I can do this. One is I end up in a position like this, right, where his arms across. Another one, maybe I get an underhook, maybe I get an overhook. For now, we'll go when I can get his arm across, because that's when I can do the arm bar, right? So he may have a grip here. If I come here, I like to do this one, grab my own wrist, lift up. If it's hard to lift up because he's putting weight into the grip, right? So now I can't bring grip more weight. Like, example, so now I can't break the grip. So now I have to use my control of his hips to off balance him, and then it's easy, right? So now, once it's here, I like to flip it, bring it here so it's hard for him to re-grab that grip, and then I want to get the arm to here. He might fight it again, so what if he buries his elbow to this side? I can't armbar yet. I have to get his elbow across my body. So if his elbow's here, I just do the same thing again. I can try to push it, but he's going to drop all his weight to this side to make it hard to push. So I shift my hips to this side, and now it's easy because he has to shift his weight back in order to stop me from pushing him this way. So now I got the elbow all the way across. Sometimes you won't get it that far. Sometimes it'll just be like here. As long as you can reach up and grab the lat, it's far enough. Okay, don't try to do this move when his elbow's like here. It's not going to work. So I got his elbow far enough. I reach, I grab the lat. Now I have to play the dilemma where I'm attacking the back take at the same time. So if he doesn't want to get armbarred, he can just let me shift my hips out and take the back. A lot of times what they'll do is they'll do something to stop that, like they'll reach over with this arm and grab here, right? And kind of like pull me in. Yeah, so now he's trying to stop me from hitting his back, but he's pulling me into this armbar position. The main thing is when I climb, I don't want to climb using my hips and this balls my spine. I always want to climb by shifting my shoulders away from him and keeping my spine flat. So when I climb this way, all my weight is in my hips, right? When I climb this way by balling my spine, he can come up on top of me and start balling me up, right, and stacking me. This way, when I climb using my shoulders and I keep my spine flat, all my weight's coming down to the shoulders. Much harder for him to stack me now. When I try to come into me, much, much harder, right? So I want to get far enough so I can throw my leg over his shoulder, right? Try to like come in, get this angle here where I'm trying to cover the shoulder with his leg. That means I can start the armbar now because I have everything locked up. Don't be like this. Don't wiggle out and try to come up like this. Now it's weak. You want to be square. Everything's square. My spine is flat, my legs are square. When I come up in this top lock position, I want to make sure I'm pressing down with my back heel and I'm squeezing my knees in. Very important. Do not neglect to squeeze the knees. Just do not neglect to squeeze the knees. The back heel is not enough by itself. So I'm back heeling and I'm squeezing. Now it's super, super tight. Another detail you can use here, go back to this position here where I just have the arm across. So if I'm having trouble walking up because I'm losing control of the arm or the head, right? So when I go to walk up, if I don't have control of the head, he can whip his head out and come up to a good posture. Now I lost the arm bar. If I go two hands on the head, I've lost control of the arm, and now if he can pull his arm back out again, right? So ideally I go one-on-one, but one might not be enough. If he's strong and he resists this by posturing up, and I lose my grip here, I can lose it. So a good way around this, especially if he's done this grip here, but you can do it almost any time, is I abandon my grip on the arm and I come under the shoulder and I gave a grip and I lock everything tight here. Now, he can't lift his head because I have two arms holding his head down, but I've completely abandoned the arm grip. But it doesn't matter because I'm locking this tight, and as I come up, if he goes to pull that arm out, pull it out, he gets fine, right? So this is a good trick. You don't have to do this every time, but it's a really good trick to help you walk up into this top lock position without having to worry about them getting their head out or their arm out. Because if he does, I'll just try him. So I end up in this position. If I end up in this position with this grip, usually his wrist will be under my arm, so finishing is actually really easy. I just do that, right? So that's like one finish you can do. Again, I have the top lock position, I'm squeezing and I'm back heeling, right? Let's say he does get this out, where I just never had in the first place, and he's trying to lock like this. If I can get two hands on his wrist, right, I don't have to finish like this. So every time I do this and I throw this leg over, I'm making a little window for him to escape, right? There's a space over here. So I prefer to finish without ever opening my legs. So if I can get 2 hands on his palm, I can push his elbow down into my low hip pocket and just shoulder lock, right? So that's just a second way to finish. Let's say he just has his hands together and he's like locking everything up tight. I can't finish this way, right? All I'm gonna do is I'm going to frame and I'm just going to keep walking backwards and walking perpendicular. So again, I don't get rid of this. I don't lose my top lock. I don't throw my leg over. I'll just walk, 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 and keep my spine flat and keep moving towards this perpendicular angle. See how he just falls over? If he doesn't do something about this, eventually he just falls. Right? And I can take them out, I can armbar from there, or this one's really disrespectful, but sometimes if your legs are long enough, you can come here and you can just dead orchard, which is just like the absolute most horrible thing ever. So there's several ways to finish, right? But there's one more thing he can do, right? So I was saying before, when I do this badly and I walk my hips up, he can stack me, right? He'll stack me, right? That's uncomfortable, it sucks. So I walk up, I get here, I flatten my spine, right? I squeeze everything together. He can't really stack me, but he can start building his base. So if he builds his hips up high, go ahead, right? Now he can kind of like push up and then like push over me, right? And like he's not really stacking me because my spine is straight, but he's making it hard for me to finish this armbar, right? Like maybe he's doing this or whatever, and now I can't finish the armbar. So when he does this, when he builds his base up and he projects his weight this way, all I do is I go with his weight. So he's pushing into me this way, I just go over in that direction, right? So it's like he has 2 options. He can either stay on this side and then I'm pushing, 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 and he falls down this way, or he builds his base up and he pushes this way and then I just pivot on the shoulder and take him over. That's much easier than trying to do pretty much any other stack defense I know of, like trying to swim under and like go belly down. There's like, like pendulum sweep. It's very hard to pendulum sweep when, triangle. Go ahead and build your base up again. Because he's pushing his weight this way, it's hard for me to pendulum sweep this way, right? It feels like I should be able to flower sweep in here, but the reality is I'm pushing exactly the wrong way. If I try to go this way, he just pushes into it. Push your weight this way, and I can't do it. But if I go this way, it's easy because that's the way he's pushing his weight, right? The flower sweep only works when he pushes his weight this way. So let's say here, he overcompensates, he doesn't want to get armbarred, so he turns this shoulder in, right? Now turn this way. Yeah. So now I start attacking the back. Remember I said you have to do this with the dilemma of taking the back, because he can always give up his back as an alternative to getting armbarred. So now, because I'm going to his back, he has to push this way towards me. Now you flower sweep, right? So you shouldn't flower sweep to try to counter the stack. The stack goes down. Okay, that's it. Thank you. Nice.